Hello there. Welcome to the Force Collective, and we are back again this week with a new episode of Star Wars Topics. We are talking about the newest episode of The Bad Batch, and I'm joined along with a couple of my friends here, Sir AOA and Chrono. How you guys doing?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What about you? Oh, good. Very good. So, we're going to go ahead because this is going to be a shorter stream due to some things. Besides that, not to mention the episode is a bit. Well, we'll get into our initial thoughts first.
You just want to sit. You just want to sit on your Xbox.
Hey, I do want to because I mean, if nobody has seen my Twitter or anything in the Discord, I got chosen for the Halo Infinite fight, and I'm super excited. So I'm trying to, download that once they send the code, and I'm trying to keep my eyes directly on it. Not to mention that there's a COVID situation here. So either way, I do want to keep this one a little short for some reasons due to like that, So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with the discussion. Now, Commander Tano may be in later due to some outside things. She will be late if she does get to join. But we're going to go ahead, just jump right into it. But we got a sponsor ad today. So, Sir AOA, who's sponsoring us this time?
Today's sponsor for the Force Collective is Kashyyyk Hair Care. Who better to help you with your hair care needs than the Wookiees? They're covered in hair, and it's completely not free. That is because they've been using the bounties of their forest for years, and now you can too. Try their styling products like Captain Hauser. After applying it to your hair, no amount of helmet use will ruin your photo shoot ready hair.
Oh my goodness.
For anyone that wants to shake it up with a new hair color, try their hair dyes used by the likes of Sabine Wren. Bright, vibrant, and long-lasting. Also good in paint. Let the big walking carpets help you take care of your hair with Kashyyyk Hair Care. Sold at your nearest large tree. Back to you, Shade.
I understand now why you said I would like this one before stream. I really understand it now, and I am so happy that you did this because that has made the stream that much better. Thank you. Thank you.
That I'm not actually recording, so damn it.
Dang it! You should have recorded that. Well,
you're gonna have to download it.
Oh no! I'll do that. Okay. Since I got my computer working again, I need to send those ones to you. Forget that. Yes. That's outside stuff. That's outside stuff. I don't want to talk about that in stream. Anyways, we're here today to talk about the newest episode of The Bad Batch and our initial thoughts. I'm itching to say something, but I'm going to let you guys go first. So, Sir AOA, give me your just initial thoughts of the episode.
I kind of want to see what happens next week. Because, I mean, with it's pretty much stated that Dave Filoni doesn't do anything for a reason, so it would just be interesting to figure out what the bloody reason for that episode was. Because it was very much sort of the definition of a filler episode. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It really well. I'll get into my thoughts later. Chrono, what did you think?
Well, I guess the best way to put it would be what the WTF, Filoni. I mean, I really don't know the reason to just do an episode that it's practically about nothing. I mean, as Serayo puts it, it might lead to something. It usually does, but it was kind of disappointing to see this episode because we were coming out of a very interesting arc, and we were like very excited to see the next part, and we get this, which is like a generic adventure, like your weekly adventure on any cartoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. My initial thoughts was it's a good episode, but it would have probably worked better earlier on in the season and not like near the end where there's going to be this big season finale and all that stuff. I feel like it should have been earlier on in the season, if anything. But it did disappoint me that we didn't get something like a 4 episode arc of Crosshair chasing down the Bad Batch. But then again, could they do a 4 episode arc? I don't know. But I feel like after the great episodes that we got just before this one, that I thought everything was just ramping up, and then they sort of just take things down. Now, not to say like you guys said that it won't go anywhere. I mean, it feels like it right now. And I'm sure that it will go somewhere at some point. I just feel like the placement for this episode in the season was not good. I don't feel like it should have been in this part of the season. But that's my initial thoughts. There's not really much in this episode that we can talk about, like theories wise and all that stuff. There's not really much to theorize about. But I guess we could talk about where it may lead, like for this particular arc, because the horned dude, I forgot his name. He's the son of some crime lord, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot the name too.
But he's alive, and I'm sure that they will bring him in like a later season of the Bad Batch, if there is going to be a second season, which I don't think
it might not even be seasonal. He might be someone important in the very next episode.
Maybe.
I mean, the thing is, why would you introduce him just as it starts getting good?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is that you have someone who is very clearly in the underworld, where you can sort of say, oh God, I hate when this happens, when you just lose the name. Where Sid, where yes. Sid's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
The horned dude, whatever his name is, he's absolutely in the criminal underworld. So maybe. Whoa! Talk about out of the middle of nowhere.
Yes, he just shows up, and whenever he feels like it,
Hey, that's exactly what I do. I'm actually on my way to the studio. I'm in the studio with my band tonight, but I saw you guys were streaming, so I wanted to jump in and just let you know that I'm with you in the force.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
I just wanted to drop in and let you know that I'm thinking about all of you tonight in various ways, and I just want to kiss you all on the mouth tonight. And I just hope everything goes well. And know that I'm just spreading the love. Spreading the love.
Yes.
COVID. We won't use
please no.
There's a pandemic going on, but I am going to kiss each and every one of you today.
Yes. Is that so?
And on that note, I leave you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Goodbye, sir. Gosh. You gotta love him. He does stuff like that all the time. I love it. All right. So back to the initial. Well, no, we finished the initial thoughts. We were talking about Horn Dude that got one of his horns cut off. Go ahead and finish what you were saying there, Sir AOA.
I think that was about it, really.
Oh well, see, I'm guessing that if he does show up in the next episode or so, it will be to help out the Bad Batch as they are being chased by Crosshair. That is one of the few things that I could imagine that they will do with this character if they bring him back during this season. And this also, I guess, in a way, is sort of a good thing. If they don't bring him back, then we know that his story isn't finished. So we can probably assume that maybe they will bring him back in a later season if that does indicate there will be a later season. If not, they'll bring him in some other form of media. But I would say I would bet that it would sort of hint that they are trying to go for another season, and which is a good thing because this season has been pretty good. With it has a couple ups and downs, but overall, I love the show, and I do want them to continue on. And these little like side stories like this that end up setting something up that's big in the future, I like it. I just wish that the placement of this episode was maybe a little earlier in the season because I feel like this part of the season, knowing there's only 3 episodes left from this point and 2 episodes after tomorrow, that things should be getting a little more crazy. They shouldn't be trying to slow it down. They should be trying to raise it, ramp it up. So, I mean, that's just my only complaint about it. Overall, it would have been better. Like, I would have enjoyed it more if it was earlier on in the season. But, I guess it is what it is. Anyways, but no, I enjoyed it better than that one episode with the Rancor, to be honest, though. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Just go ahead, whoever.
No, I actually liked it better. I actually liked the Rancor episode better. Because
Really?
the thing is that the Rancor episode was very much a big case of them getting used to the new life type situation. So it was that first step away from soldiers to essentially bounty hunters.
Yeah.
So that episode was a very important episode.
I mean, yeah, I know it's important. I meant, like, as far as enjoyability, though, I feel like I enjoyed this episode a little more than that one. I don't know. That's just, I guess, personal preference on that. But I wouldn't replace that episode with this one. I would just, like, after that episode, like, maybe another 1 or 2 episodes after that, I would have put this episode in there instead of waiting until the fourth one from the end, But, I mean, that's just me.
Well, we do have to remember, Filoni will find a way.
Yes,
That's true.
he usually does.
Yeah. So, let's see. Is there really much to talk about with this episode? You guys got anything on it that you want to share?
Well,
Like
the
thoughts?
guy's name, I just looked it up. It's Roland Durand.
Yeah, that's it.
Durand.
I guess what we can take from this episode is that they're probably setting that guy up to be of some consequence to the team, like to help them somehow. I don't know.
Where Omega stood up for him like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it could be something like that they're going for. Also, I mean, the other good thing this episode had is that we see them actually helping Sid instead of Sid helping them, and I do like the scene where Omega is kind of reminding Hunter that they don't leave people behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's
like
of what they're going for.
Well,
It was
go ahead.
probably an important character building episode.
Yeah. World building too. It did do some world building.
Yeah. But,
Well, they showed the Pikes again.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's one thing I really was happy about. Like they're bringing them into this. I really want to see more of them. The crime stuff really like intrigues me. So whenever Maul got you know involved with that stuff in the Clone Wars and all that, it was just really cool. Crimson Dawn, I think, is what they were called. And then even if you may not have liked Solo, that cameo at the end where he was leading that crime organization, I think it was Crimson Dawn in that one as well. That stuff just intrigues me. I like to see where that stuff leads. So I hope they actually do explore that a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that could be possible.
Yeah. But let's see. It sounds like I'm really struggling today to figure out something to talk about for this. I mean, am I wrong though for saying that it's like it wasn't a very eventful episode? Besides,
absolutely.
Okay. So I'm not the only one that feels like it's a little difficult to talk about it when there wasn't that much.
Well, the thing is that there's probably a few things I can talk about, but that might spoil things for later on. So I don't want to. Let's just say that episode gave me a lot of ideas.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm glad it gave you a lot of ideas.
I would have used one of them, but no, the Khajiit hair care definitely had to.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you used that one this time around. I really am. Who knew that Hauser was using that? I mean, I guess I should have known, but you know, I mean, no other clone has that kind of hair. So Hauser, I mean, he has to be doing something different, you know.
Well, but I mean, you know, the Wookiees might not have been engaging the right advertisement agencies.
That's probably true because not many people have heard of it until now. They went through us this time, which is awesome. I'm so proud to have them as a sponsor. Oh, but all jokes aside, though, that was really good. I'm glad you came up with that.
Well, I can thank you and Commander Tano for planting the seed.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad that we had some part in that. Well, I guess like how do you guys got any other things to talk about with this episode that you can think of? Because my memory is a little fuzzy at the moment on this episode. Wait a minute, wasn't what was his name? Roland Durand or something like that? What now? I I don't know if I've heard the Durand family name before or not, but weren't they in like some previous lore of Star Wars?
I believe so, because I've heard Durant before as well.
It does sound familiar. I don't really know where.
I feel like I've heard it pretty recently in Star Wars. I just can't remember what it was from.
Chrono, did you like look up his Wikipedia article or something?
Sorry, what?
The character. What was his name again?
Roland Durand.
Yeah, Roland Durand. Did you like look up his Wikipedia or something?
No, but I can look it up right now.
Because that might be the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually okay. The one thing that really does intrigue me about this, though, is his character. I did like his character. I mean, even though I talk about the episode being a little disappointing, that's besides the point. The character himself was actually pretty interesting. I did like his character, but I really wish that we could have got a little more of him, like a little more information on him. But I'm sure that will come pretty soon. If they bring him in, like let's say the next episode, or maybe in the next season, or in some other form of Star Wars media, whatever it may be. But I would really like to know more about him. So, you know, they did set up some little stories that they could, or some little some little stories that they can do in the future, with what they did here. But honestly, that's about all I can tell you about the episode. It's been a long week for me, so my memory's a bit fuzzy on it. If you guys remember anything else, go ahead and share it.
I just checked the Wikipedia, and the only entry is about the episode. There's nothing prior.
Yeah, which is just.
I feel like I've heard that name before somewhere in Star Wars lore.
Yeah, it's bugging me as well.
So I'm glad I'm not the only one, because when I heard that in the episode, I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard that before. I've heard of that family before.
It could be just a name from like another movie type of situation.
That might be what it is.
And we're just sort of
we've all seen the same movie. We just don't know which one it is. Oh man,
because it's just absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like no legends.
Oh. Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Oh,
yes, she joined in a little sooner than I thought she would.
I know. I got out of work early, so
Nice.
what's
Nice.
up?
Talking about the Bad
Celebration!
Batch. You missed out on the ad, unfortunately, though. The ad was really good. The ad was really good this time around. And it's probably my favorite one.
Well, I might just do it at the end as well.
Yeah, you know what? We'll make sure that everybody knows our sponsor near the end. All right. So, yes, very. So, I'm going to go ahead and ask you all the questions I asked them then. What was your initial thoughts on the Bad Batch episode last Friday?
Yeah, so it's weird. I'm like, my sense of time. It's like, oh yeah, that was a week ago. Yeah, I think I'm like I enjoyed it as I enjoy all of them, but I was kind of like, oh come on, I wanted like I guess I want to get to the main. I want to get to the main plot.
Yeah.
They need to stop torturing me like this. And I get it. I get why they do that. It's so I get it, but yeah, but please stop. I need to know. There's so many things I need to know.
Yes, exactly.
More torturing us, because it's
yeah.
Everyone's feeling the same. It's just sort of like,
yeah,
come on, we need.
They really need to hold on to those subscriptors.
Yes, yes, they do.
Bad Batch versus Crosshair already.
And at the same time, I was also simultaneously kind of relieved, because I'm worried like that I'm going to be disappointed in I don't I want to know, but I also don't. I want my headcanon to be preserved. I don't.
Well, just think of it like this: your headcanon is its own multiverse of this, so it can be canon if you want it to be.
I know, but I'm greedy.
It's not the same, though. I know. Well, like I said about this episode earlier, you weren't here, so I'll say it again. It would have worked better earlier on in the season than it did at the fourth away from the end, so.
Yes.
Yeah. But the episode was interesting. I just, like I said, wish it wasn't near the end. But then again, this might set up for his character being in the next episode, and the next episode might start off some sort of 3-episode arc of Crosshair chasing the Bad Batch, which seems to be a little more believable over a 4-episode arc. So you never know, he might be important in the next episode, so there is still some light at the end of the tunnel. If he doesn't show up, I mean, I don't know what to say, but if he does show up, I wouldn't be disappointed.
That would be really funny if the remaining 3 episodes, all we got was just other kind of little side quests, and nothing to do with nothing to do with Crosshair, nothing to do with Camille. They're just trolling us, and also they've only planned one season. They just left it at that.
That would
I really
be
hope those are your prediction powers working, because if that happens, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm predicting all of that.
Well, hang on. And then Dave Filoni, reaches in underneath his shirt and pulls his mask off, and it's Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, and that is the subversion of expectations.
Yes.
He would actually finally get one right.
Yeah, because nobody expected that.
The only other thing in terms of like my initial impressions, and it's just I probably shouldn't have thought this was funny, but I did. At the end when they get Omega back, and the guy, I forget what his species is called, but when they're like, when the pipes are like, when they're like, you still gotta pay, we're not done with you, and then the one gets the knife out, and I was like, oh, they're gonna like just do I thought they were like doing a beheading right there, and then in the I was like, that's like, like, okay, that
sounds like you got a little excited to see it happen.
I was kind of thinking, like, that's really dark, especially like to do that in front of a child too, and just all the, I was like, oh, okay, like I know Clone Wars had that stuff, but I was like, oh, okay, but that didn't, and so it's just kind of it was funny. That was just a horn.
I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, but it's Devronian.
Yes, yeah,
Devronian.
Something
That's
like
that.
That's right. That's how you pronounce it.
You mean I got it right?
I think that I'm pretty sure I've heard it pronounced that way, so I think you're right. They had one of those Devronians in I think that I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced in The Mandalorian as well, and they talked about it for a while when they that's the 6th episode of The Mandalorian, the first season.
There
one
was
with Bill
also,
Burr and all them,
There was also one in A New Hope.
That the creepy one that was just smiling as he looked around. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm just sitting here and having a drink. There's nothing wrong here.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody made me not made me believe it, but just said that that's basically just Satan sitting there at the table, just smiling, staring. Yeah, I always imagine
whose soul am I going to take down to hell?
That face though looks like that, so it wouldn't be too far off. So, oh well. So, what do you have any predictions on where any of this could go, Commander Tono?
I gave you my anti-prediction, and I'm hoping it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm hoping that works out. But yeah, I think the interesting discussion is are we gonna get a 3-part finale or I think we're gonna get a 2-part finale.
I'd say you're right, to be honest.
Because they, at least last I checked, for a while they'd released the episode titles up until the one we're getting tonight or tomorrow, depending on how you define it. But the other 2 that they hadn't released, and so that just says to me, okay, 2-part finale. Maybe what I'd like is if at least one of those with the 2-part were a bit longer. Like with the first one, I'd like something like that, because it's like the 20-some minutes it's worked, but I also at the end I really liked with the first episode, I liked the 40+ length. That worked well.
They would probably do that with the last episode.
I would say you're right on that. If they don't do it, Go ahead.
I'm going to anti-predict that they won't.
Okay. that works. That works. Let's hope your prediction is incorrect. So, I guess there really isn't much to talk about with this, so we can probably move on to our little second topic there that we have. I'm going to go ahead and put it on screen if you're ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. All right. So you know a little more about this, Sir AOA, so I'll let you go ahead and talk about that real quick, and then we'll discuss it.
Well, there's really nothing much than what's on screen. Frankly, I found this on my Twitter timeline, and they're wanting. It's just essentially a petition to get the Young Jedi Knights reissued.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing there's been like a few Legend book series that have been reissued, and the Young Jedi Knights wasn't one of them. And it's just a drive to sort of go, hey, yeah, there's money on the table. Do you like money? We like books. Print these ones and you get money.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, it wouldn't hurt them in any way. It'd literally just they'd be having people throw money at them.
Pretty much. And well, hang on, I'll just bring up the petition. Well, they're already up to 1,500. But I would definitely be one of the people buying it because I've only got the first 3 books, I think. And it was actually funny. It was actually funny that we were sort of talking about the Young Jedi Knights last stream, and I've sort of gone, I haven't finished that series. I think I might go back and buy it, and then ta-da! Fate is trying to tell me something. But hang on, I'll just read it out.
Okay.
Dear Lucasfilm Press Books, we loyal fans of the Star Wars franchise would like to kindly request the reprinting of the epic Young Jedi Knight series. The names of Kevin J. Anderson, Rebecca Moista, and David Dorman are still very popular in the ever-growing expanded universe community. We cherish the 40-plus years of... This is what happens when you don't read it before trying to say it. We cherish the 40-plus years of history of Legends, and would like to preserve and pass these adventures to the next generation of fans. We believe these stories can coexist with the great canon material. Well, the past canon material.
Yeah.
And bring business to the Star Wars IP while delighting new fans around the world. Thank you so much for the amazing news stories you have brought us with titles of with such titles as skipping that part. Thank you also for your gorgeous reprints of Legends novels, Shatterpoint, Path of Destruction, and Heir to the Empire. Yeah, see, they should have just gone with the second part.
Yeah,
they should have just gone with that part there. Our request: reissue the 14 book series in both physical and ebook editions. Create beautiful hardcover designs similar to J. Ireland's A Test of Courage. Why? But use the original art. Use the original art of the one and only Dave Dorman. Create a dedicated site or blog web. Oh, Jesus, that's really asking. Okay. Where fans can celebrate the Young Jedi Knight series. We sincerely hope this letter gets to you soon, and that our voices will be heard, and pledge to spend our hard-earned cash to make this project a reality. Sincerely, the fans.
I mean, the one reason why I think this won't happen, though, even if they get the signatures, is that if you remember, I forgot what the name of the book was, but they republished a book and it was on Amazon, and it sold so much that it was outselling the High Republic when that was a thing. Is it still a thing, by the way? Oh, I guess it still is. Well, it outsold the High Republic at the time, and they took it right off of Amazon almost as soon as they put it up. So, if they
maybe this petition is just a little bit too early.
Maybe
they should just and I'm just wondering if they've like taken it down or something because everything seems to be not coming up. It's a little weird.
Well,
but as you can see with OG Star Wars, she says, I was just looking at the updates on this yesterday. It's 10 off 1,000 signatures, I believe. And then, of course, you come here and 0 have signed. Let's get to 1,500. So I think it's just either my internet's playing hooky somewhere, and it's not coming up. But it'd be interesting to see what local news would pick this up.
Yeah. But, I mean, that would be pretty interesting if they did bring that book back or that series back. I mean, unfortunately, I never even heard of it until now. I've heard of a lot of books for Star Wars, and that one, I actually never heard of it. But the fact that it's one of the older Legends books, or series, that is, makes me want to for sure go and read it, because I used to read a lot of Star Wars books. Like, what was it? There was Jedi Quest, Last of the Jedi, books like that. I forgot the name of the other series. There's like 3 series back then. I can't remember the name of the other one.
I read this
Jedi Apprentice, I think. Sorry.
I read this book series. Well, the first few books back in year 7. And the only reason I stopped was, well, 1, I didn't exactly have an income to get books, and 2, I actually started reading more high fantasy than I did sci-fi, so that's pretty much the reason why I stopped reading them. But they were really good. They were interesting and intriguing enough, and they had a good sort of cast of characters. It did very much sort of feel like they were just like recreating the trilogy of characters, just younger type situation.
Yeah.
But it was a good sort of what's the best way of putting it? It was sort of like a good off to the side type of series.
Yeah.
So you didn't really feel like it was the fate of the galaxy. But then again, that I only got through the first 3 books, so maybe maybe it got a lot more crazier in the rest of the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really hope they if they do reissue, I would definitely purchase definitely purchase the series. Now that, you know, I have an income,
Yeah.
I can definitely put my money behind it. But I mean, the thing is that whoever actually started this, they should probably go to just send an email to Lucasfilm Books and go, if you're worried about it not selling, do a crowdfunder.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
But then again,
That's too
also
sensible.
That's true. That's true.
But then again, as you did say, it would probably outsell it would probably outsell
The High Republic.
the High Republic, and thus would be yeeted by Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh gosh. I mean, you're right, I'd say. And that's, I think, the main reason why I think they won't do it. Because, you know, sensible, as Commander Tano says, it'd be sensible, you know. And they don't do sensible, at least not right now. That might change soon, hopefully.
Well, I just looked it up on my phone. It is definitely my browser or computer or internet. They're up to, the counter keeps on going up, so I've like 1,004 have signed.
Oh, really?
There we go. 1,004 people have signed. Me being one of them.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I hope they actually do this, because it would be. Well, I've got no idea if you can purchase it now. But if you can't purchase them, I would definitely be interested in picking up the reissue.
Yep. Yep. That's. I would be very interested as well, because books like that, like I think it was Jedi Apprentice, the other book series, all the Jedi Apprentice, then it went to Jedi Quest, and then it went to Last of the Jedi. I think they were all done by the same author. I could be wrong on that. It's been a long time. I used to read those. I loved them. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. I used to have the entire collection. I don't anymore, unfortunately. But you know, they were good books. So I would imagine that these right here would also be just as interesting, and I would for sure pick me up at least one of them to read the first one. And if that got me liking it, I'd buy the whole lot of them. You know. I mean, old canon was really good. The old EU was really good.
I think they're very aware that there won't be a problem in selling the books, but I really don't think they want this kind of adventure colliding with what they already did, because the Solo twins contradict Ben Solo.
Yeah,
That is true. That is true. But yet again, no, actually, hang on, This really needed to come out after Kathleen Kennedy leaves, not before.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
doubt that it's going to get enough traction to convince them at this point in time to do it, But I'd say that once Kathleen is gone, they would have had a better chance at getting it in. Which I might be just a Debbie Downer because I'm just saying that it ain't going to happen. But you never know. I mean, they surprised me when they did reissue some of the other EU books. I think was it Heir to the Empire or just the Thrawn trilogy in general.
Hang on a second. It was Shatterpoint, Path of Destruction, and Heir to the Empire.
Okay, so they reissued those 3, and they didn't stop print of those, So you never know. I guess I don't want to judge too fast.
I've just been looking through it. Sorry, I just looked it up on Google, and yeah, it doesn't look like you can actually purchase these books. You can, of course, purchase them used.
Yes.
But you can't purchase them brand new. And yeah, frankly, the only reason why I stopped reading these was because I got hooked on high fantasy and went down that
rabbit hole.
If you're into high fantasy and you have not read David and Lee Eddings, what are you doing with your life? Go and read it. I actually rate David and Lee Eddings higher than Tolkien.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a bold statement there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's sort of, you have to sit there and go, yep, Tolkien, you can say, invented high fantasy. But no, David and Lee Eddings, I think, absolutely mastered it. I can't think of a book series or a book in that genre that they've written that I haven't read multiple times. I actually have to purchase all of the Belgariad series books again because I've read them so often that I've absolutely destroyed their spines.
I guess that's good though.
Yeah. And you do hear a lot of people being naysayers about David and Lee Eddings. But the thing is that there was a book. Hang on, was it the Rivian Codex?
Yeah.
It was sort of a big case of this is how you write high fantasy type situation. And everything that was sort of everything that was behind how he wrote his book series. And the funny thing was that after reading that book, and especially the way he sort of wrote, how he wrote out the formula of how he writes high fantasy. Funny enough, you could start seeing the formula in a whole lot of high fantasy novels, including Tolkien. It was very much sort of like reading the hero's journey and then just sort of like, oh wait, hang on, there's the call to action and there's the X and there's the Y and then there's the it didn't stop me enjoying them, but you kind of in the back of your head you just sort of you sort of just snicker and just sort of go, yeah, I can see all that. I can see past the Matrix.
Well, honestly, That sounds really good. I might have to look at those as well. But I'm guessing that we're just going to go ahead and begin to end the stream for today due to the fact that I have some things I got to do. Shut up, sorry, AOA. I know what you're about to say. Don't say it. Anyways.
It has nothing to do with Halo.
Yes, Halo is very important. Okay, I'm going to make videos on that. So I'm working on something for the channel by ending this early. So, and plus there wasn't really that much to talk about. We basically got the whole discussion out of the way. And
yeah, normally we go for much longer on the bad batch discussion, but they're really sort of it was pretty barren.
Yeah, that one was a little slow today, but here's to hoping that tomorrow's will be much better.
And actually, I do have to say I wouldn't say that the Bad Batch episode was a bad episode.
No, not at all.
It was just as you said, Shade. It was probably an episode that needed to happen a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And maybe it couldn't have happened a little bit earlier simply because of Ruby.
Maybe.
That's the other thing, yes, because there's a brief moment where I was like, "Wait, Ruby," and then I was like, "Oh yeah." It would have fit earlier just to kind of connect the dots with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Ruby. That's right. It took me a minute to think of that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's one of those sort of situations where if you watch the entire season, it makes sense. But right now, with its split up, by a week type of situation, it kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just
picky.
No.
Yes.
Maybe we've just maybe we've just been a little bit too spoiled from previous episodes.
That's it.
Hauser's hair. That's it.
You could say we wanted more.
Did you want more? Okay. You wanted more.
Okay, so 2 more minutes. We can say more is good job. For the next 2 minutes. Yes, let's go. More.
You overdid it.
Broke the rules.
No, you overdid it. You just kept saying it constantly. So I feel like. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to just say one thing. About this upcoming episode. I believe it's called War Mantle, and isn't that that was like kind of the name of Rampart's project, basically with.
Oh.
I believe with transitioning the army from clones to recruits. So I could see us possibly getting some more Kamina or Crosshair. Like we could get our 3-part finale in a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Especially since you put it that way, because I'm glad that you knew the name. I didn't know the name of the episode, but that's very interesting. And this might also showcase a little bit of rebellion, between the clones and the Empire, because if you're talking about the transition of clones to conscripted soldiers, then there has to be a reason, and maybe they'll just start seeing a little more clone rebellion. And by that, I mean another event like Hauser and his squad. They'll start seeing a little more of that across, all their battalions and stuff like that. So I can say that might be my prediction for the next, at least, arc of episodes, if it's going to be a 3-episode arc. But that's all I've got.
Makes sense.
Do it.
Yeah. Anyways, we got 5 minutes. You guys want to say anything else before we end it? Because I'm going to try to end it on the hour mark. So you guys got anything else to say?
I have nothing more.
Nothing more? Okay. Oh man.
You
Here
need
you
to
go.
take that button away. Good job.
No. You can't take it away from me. No one will take it from me. No one.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was wondering when things would turn that way.
Yeah. I don't think I did it last stream, did I? I did it right before the stream. Yeah, that's what it was. Tuesday. I did it right before the stream.
Yeah.
Nobody else seen it. Yeah, so anybody that watches this stream will know that I still did it, but it was right before the stream yesterday. So I guess technically I had my fix yesterday. Anyways,
You had your
Talking
fix
about
morning?
fixes, can we get a fix, please?
Anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and
aren't you going to feed the Raylo fans?
you know what? I should, shouldn't I? I should, shouldn't I? Hold on. Here you go.
Yes!
Yes, there you go.
I was
But-
worried because, obviously last week, and the week prior, it's all about Hauser. And, I feel like we've neglected the Raylos.
Yeah, I know. Look, the people that worship Hauser are just as important, though. So we got to mention him at least once every stream at this point.
Oh, God.
Yes,
So, okay,
mainly
it's-
for my
it's not-
sake.
It's not either or, it's a both and. I think we've
Yes.
got room for both.
Well, I don't think the
No,
Raylos
we
feel that way, though.
No.
No, you're still holding on. Let go.
Look, the Raylos were with us from the beginning. We
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get you.
No, we should slowly starve them until they disappear into the ether.
Yeah, let's do that instead. So I had something to say and I lost it. Poo. Well, while I'm figuring it out, here you go. I still don't have any idea what I was going to say, so here's something else.
you have to keep playing it until you figure it out.
I have to keep playing that one
No.
until I figure it out?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, more.
I have to, yeah, okay. I got you. I think I've officially completely lost it, though. I don't think I'll be able to figure it out before the time is up. But I guess we'll go ahead and start ending the stream here. It usually takes me a good 10 minutes to do it. But we're going to try to be a little faster. Anyways, did you guys have a good day?
Yeah, well, my day's only just started, so...
Oh, that's right. That's right. I just wanted to ask before we end this stream, if you guys are doing good. I don't think I asked you three, or you two, but I didn't ask Commander Tano how she was doing. How are you doing, Commander Tano?
Oh, it was an awful day. No, it was a good day.
Okay, good. That's good. You guys ready for tomorrow's episode, right?
Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes and no? I feel the same. I hope we don't get another episode like today's.
We won't,
Or
but the thing
Fridays.
is
Last Fridays.
this episode is probably going to hurt my headcanon. I'm worried it will.
Well, I'll predict that it won't, and you predict that it will, and we should be okay.
Yep.
All right, but that's all we got for you this time, guys. If you enjoyed the stream, then please leave a like, leave a comment. Also, subscribe if we earned it. There is a link to our description. There's a link to our Discord in the description down below. Also, my Twitter. You can follow me there, or you can join the Discord and talk to us more often there. We're pretty active there for the most part. And I will have some Halo Infinite content soon, which is going to be pretty interesting since I was picked. I'm going to keep bragging about it. I was picked for the flight. I'm so happy about it.
Jay, someone's ego is a bit inflated at the moment.
Hey, look, this is something I've been excited for. And not to mention, I think I told you guys once before that I wasn't able to get a Series X. I finally got one today.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yes, I finally got an Xbox Series X. It will be here on the 19th. You have no idea how difficult it was to get it.
How many
Probably
died?
Probably almost as difficult as getting a PlayStation 5.
It's probably just as difficult. And to answer your question about how many died, I'll just play this. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it with child murder. So,
Aren't you forgetting something, Shade?
oh yeah, that's right. I didn't want to forget it, and I completely did. For Commander Tano's sake, we're going to do it again because I'm sure she'll enjoy this ad. So go ahead and tell us our sponsor for this stream, Sir AOA.
Today's sponsor for the Force Collective is Kashyyyk Hair Care. Who better to help you with your hair care needs than the Wookiees? They're covered in hair, and it's completely not free. That's because they've been using the bounties of their forest for years, and now you can too. Try their styling product just like Captain Hauser. After applying it to your hair, no amount of helmet use will ruin your photo shoot ready hair. For anyone that wants to shake it up with a new hair color, try their hair dyes, used by the likes of Sabine Wren. Bright, vibrant, and long-lasting. Also good in paints. Let the big walking carpets help you take care of your hair with Kashyyyk Hair Care. Sold at your nearest largest tree. Back to you, Shade.
Wonderful.
That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one today, especially the Hauser part. That was the best one. I mean, like I was saying earlier, there is no way he couldn't have been using that. Like, he's the only clone with that kind of hair because, he's stylish and all. So he has to be using something different than the rest of them.
He's probably the only clone to take care of his hair.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Rex basically just shaved his down and dyed it blonde, and then all the other clones are just all the same. So I mean,
Top did the nice,
man bun.
hair, man bun.
Well, he didn't cut
actually-
it and stuff.
Actually,
so
to be fair, it looked more like a what are they called? I've forgotten what they're called.
I have no idea what you're talking about now.
The Japanese sort of not hair. I've forgotten what they're called now.
Topinot?
No,
I don't know. I have no idea. I love how
I have failed my teachers. But yeah, so it didn't. It would be a little bit unfair to call it a man bun. But yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the best way I know how to describe it. I don't know. I don't know hair that well. I just know Hauser's hair, and that's the only hair I care about. Mine, who cares about it? Hauser's, though, you better believe I'm going to do whatever I can to protect it. So, just saying.
It
Oh,
wasn't
man.
weird at all.
No, nothing weird about that. Not at all. I mean, you guys would do it too.
I guess you're
Do
right.
what?
Yeah.
Liar!
Oh man. Yeah. I'm seriously out of things to talk about at this point, so we will end the stream here after an hour and 5 minutes, which is unusual for us. We usually go on for almost 3 hours. Let's see. You haven't watched the show? Oh well. I mean, it's awesome. I like
Who hasn't watched the show?
Nerd Po Real.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah. You should watch it if you ever get a chance to. If you're not using Disney Plus, then you can probably find it on a website. Wink, wink. And watch it through there.
or find it on the Seven Seas. Though
That's
you
also
should probably
true.
not go and find it on the Seven Seas, but you can find it most likely.
Yeah, the Seven Seas are difficult to travel through, so you might want to be careful. Too many. That's
Oh
funny.
dear. Oh dear. I think we know how he gets his booty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, look, I can't blame them though. Some people just gotta do what they gotta do. I mean, that's just how it is. I'm the kind of person that says it is what it is. So
Some
it is.
some
what it
people
is.
some people just like the sea in their hair. So make sure you use Kashyyyk hair care.
You want long, luscious Wookiee hair? Kashyyyk hair care.
Sold
Yeah,
at your
no,
nearest largest tree.
I guess you wouldn't know. I guess you wouldn't. Dang it. Well, I don't even know what I mean at this point. I don't even know. We wink wink. We don't know anything. Wink wink. Nudge nudge. Wink wink. It's just like we're completely out of things to say at this point, and we're just sort of just saying random junk right now. Isn't that funny? We're never like this. This is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced.
Excuse me. We're always like this.
Not like this. this we would be like this maybe after 3 hours. Maybe
you just maybe you just don't realize that because it's so early, by the time we get to the 3 hour mark, we're just sort of like, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. But, we're still bright eyed and bushy tailed. Well, sorry, I'm always bright eyed and bushy tailed, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's true. You're up early.
And I actually slept.
By the way, no, the season's not over yet. There is, as of tomorrow, 2 episodes left. Tomorrow will be the newest episode, and then there will be 2 episodes left. So the 13th is when it ends, and we're doing a watch party at the very end for it. So that's going to be fun. We all got to, except for Sir ALA, he gets to be up early in the morning, and we have to stay up till early in the morning to watch it. So
that's right. I need to get some widgets.
Yeah. So Whenever that episode comes out, we got to do that watch party, and we might end up doing a watch party for The Last Jedi pretty soon. So, and He-Man, we got 3 watch parties. We gotta watch
Yes,
that first episode of He-Man or Masters of the Universe. I can't really call it He-Man because it's not really about He-Man.
No, you can't.
The not human show.
Yeah, not He-Man. Better than the Mandalorian.
The Teela show.
I wouldn't say that. The Mandalorian, in my opinion, wasn't boring. I liked it a lot. I actually really liked the ending of season 2. I mean, who doesn't though? At that for that one, but I guess if you're really sentimental to the Clone Wars, huh?
I know someone who doesn't like it. You know who it is?
Who?
AK.
Yes. That's true. Your witch laugh is awesome.
Yes, it is.
No. It's not a witch laugh.
What? I thought that's what Kathleen Kennedy was.
It's a Kathleen Kennedy laugh.
Yeah, that's what I said. What? Is there a difference between the two? I didn't know there was a difference. Why don't you tell me these things?
No, because witches can be good looking. I mean, haven't you seen Charmed?
Actually, yeah. To be completely honest, I don't think I've seen that movie.
Oh, TV show.
TV show. Okay, see, exactly. Well, to finish up what I was saying about The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch, I guess we can talk about this real quick. Which one is better? I mean, because Nerd Per Real asks if it's better than The Mandalorian, if The Bad Batch is better than The Mandalorian. I say if you're very sentimental to the Clone Wars, then you will probably enjoy it more than you would The Mandalorian. But me and my predictive powers had predicted that they would someday do a Mandalorian type movie trilogy or show. Well, I never thought it'd be a show, but I always wanted to have a Mandalorian centered story, and I was hoping that Disney would do that. So I was always thinking to myself, that's going to happen. And well, here we are. It happened, and I'm sort of very partial to it. So I do like The Mandalorian a lot. But if you're very partial to the Clone Wars, you'll probably enjoy The Bad Batch more, which if you heard the earlier part of the stream here, then you would know that this episode was probably not this previous one was probably not the greatest one for near the end of the season. It's a good episode, but it should have been, like I said many times, earlier on in the season rather than, or this kind of episode should have been earlier on in the season rather than near the end. But it's not a bad episode by any means. And the whole season itself has been pretty good, especially the last 2 episodes before this episode that came out last Friday. So those were my favorite. Hauser is the best. Anyways, let's see. I want to continue to respond to some of these. Star Wars without a compelling villain is boring to me, and Moff Gideon disappointed me in that regard. I mean, I feel like they could have done more with Moff Gideon, but I personally liked him, which I don't want to say the word because I just said it, and I know that I have to play the clip, but whatever. I'll play the clip in a minute. I want more, but I know I shouldn't. I do really want more of Gideon. I want them to sort of show more of him, like his or give us, what's the word I'm looking for? I want them to build his character a little more.
I guess we expected more from him since they casted Giancarlo Esposito, and I'm like, yeah, he's a great actor, and it doesn't really shine because he doesn't get a chance to do so.
Yeah, but I'm sure that if they go on for a 3rd season, if he is the main villain and somehow gets away or whatever, then he'll probably shine in that season.
The problem with the Mandalorian is kind of spin-off-itis.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's so busy trying to set up all the spin-off shows that, well, I should probably say season 2 kind of suffered from spin-off-itis. Is that it was too busy trying to set up so many spin-offs that it kind of got buried a little bit.
Yeah, I got you.
I agree.
I mean,
but that doesn't exclude the fact that there were some killer episodes.
Boba Fett's return was probably third best in that season.
Yeah. I've got to actually sit down and watch the yeah, I'd probably agree with that statement. I've actually got to sit down and watch The Mandalorian in sequence.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I've watched them. I've watched The Mandalorian. It just wasn't in sequence.
Oh well.
So
I guess I can see that.
Kind of. I think I watched the second season last episode before I watched anything else in the second season.
Yeah.
I will say regarding Gideon, what I did appreciate, and once again, this isn't saying much, but compared to the sequel trilogy Imperials, which are just goofy, I felt that Gideon's a step in the right direction. That's like, he's actually menacing. When you have him there, obviously you don't get much of him, but as opposed to, kind of the goofy Nazi caricature you get with Hux. That's just it's just funny.
Hey, hang on. You said there were Imperials. I didn't see any Imperials in the sequel trilogy.
That's the thing, though. It's like, come on, like they're Imperials, First Order, all this. It's like, that's the other thing that frustrate me in general with the sequels. It's like, what's the point of coming up? The Resistance and the First Order. It's like, we know what these are.
Oh, you should have been on Tuesday's stream.
Yeah.
we did a surprise stream Tuesday. I wasn't planning on it, and we sort of talked about the sequel trilogy, and I said that it would be very interesting to hear what Commander Tano has to say due to the fact that she used to be an sequel trilogy apologist. I think that's how you put it.
Yeah.
So, your info would have...
even when I was that was one thing I didn't like. I just felt it. I also felt it was just too confusing for.
But I mean, we know why the First Order and Resistance was created.
Yeah, we know.
And that's J.J. Abrams wanted the money from the toy sales, and he would not have been able to get the money from the toy sales if they had have used Imperials and Rebels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he needed to create his own Imperials and Rebels. And so he created the Resistance and created the First Order, which made absolutely no sense, had no story reasons for them to exist, unless you made every character and hero in the original trilogy and sequel and prequel trilogies absolute failures.
Mm-hmm.
And then come up with a justification that made absolutely no sense, like the populists and the censorists. But that might have just simply been because they wanted to have Republicans and Democrats without calling them Republicans and Democrats.
But which one is which, though? Which one do they want to be the Republicans, and which one do they want to be the Democrats? That's the real
Easy.
question.
The populists were the Democrats, and the Republicans were the centrists. Of course, if you actually looked in how they operated, you would sort of go, yeah, no. But for
No, completely wrong.
For brain dead activists, sorry, I mean, writers.
It's okay, Raylos. I got you.
Of course, you would have something like that. But yeah, no, that is pretty much why we have the resistance in the First Order.
Yeah.
Is because JJ wanted that sweet, sweet toy money. And instead of getting that sweet, sweet toy money, you had recycling parts or sort of plastics that got recycled.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna have to make that part 2 pretty soon, because this is a whole good conversation that we haven't, that we still haven't finished yet. But we're not going to finish that here in this stream, because this is Star Wars Topics and not from a certain point of view. So, anyways,
you just want to end it so you can download your game on your Xbox.
No, that is not true. No, I actually had something else to say. I was going to respond to a couple more things here. Okay. So, Nerd Pro Real also says that Clone Wars has great villains. So I guess if we're comparing the Clone Wars villains to anything that they've done probably recently, and that's not counting the Bad Batch, because that's basically part 2 to the Clone Wars, I would say that I think the villains were better in the Clone Wars than they have been in anything else so far.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Yeah, you think so?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
And like, he also raises another point. The villains, hold on, I'll put it on so you can read it too. The villains need to succeed to raise the stakes. Bad stuff needs to happen. They took his entire ship out. No stakes at the end of the last season. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've said multiple times, I love The Mandalorian, but I do get the no stakes part, because every time that he gets shot, it's literally just on the armor. They don't hit any of the weak spots, like in between the armor pieces or whatever. They always hit the armor. That is one thing that did bug me a little bit, but I overlooked it because the show overall was pretty enjoyable, in my opinion. But there are a few things that make it feel like there is no stakes. And
Plot armor is more effective than Beskar.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all know why all blaster bolts will hit the armor and not the squishy parts. And that's because
he's got plot armor too. He's
no, I was more gonna say, because then that would involve blood, and you can't have blood on a Disney show.
Well, that would be more if you're dealing with like kinetic weapons, though. Weapons shooting out plasma bolts or energy bolts or whatever they are would probably what's the word, cauterize or something like that. Yep. What's the word for it? Is that what it is? They would probably seal up the wound as it's also causing the wound. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You mean like the Wampa's arm?
Yeah, exactly. You didn't see any blood coming out of it. All you seen was a black burned spot where it had been sliced off. So now, given Star Wars Episode 4, they didn't exactly go that direction when Obi-Wan cut off what's his name's arm. There was a lot of blood on the floor on that one. Maybe his lightsaber was just weak at this point and wasn't burning as much as it used to. I don't know.
Oh, it could have just been a simple case of the cut was so quick that there was, I guess you could say, lighter burnt parts. So, you could get a bit of splash from the blood.
there's a couple more things I'm going to mention real quick. If you're going to have an OP good guy or have OP good guys, you need to have even better villains. The original trilogy worked because of Darth Vader. He was OP. So, you know, I completely agree with that. The
You
villains
might
need
want
to
to click
be.
that up.
Huh?
You might want to click that up.
Okay. Yeah. If you're wondering, that's what he said right there. And I completely agree with that too. Darth Vader is super powerful in that movie, though. Unfortunately, I feel like they did him slightly dirty, just slightly, by not giving him, I guess, like a better fight. But then again, the technology back then was not exactly the greatest, so they couldn't just episode 3 the fight, so which would have been really cool, but I guess it is what it is. Let's see. I doubt they'll humiliate Boba Fett. Like they already got like an absurd amount of backlash, which was rightfully deserved when they got rid of Gina Carano. So for a established character like Boba Fett, who they finally bring back, if they ruin that, I'm sure that the backlash will just be equal, if not worse, than the Gina Carano backlash. That's my thoughts on that.
And you've got to remember that at this point, the creative decisions have been taken up by Dave Filoni, and he has a lot of respect for the source material.
Yeah,
he might change and retcon a whole lot of things, but that's just to make a better story type situation. It's not going to be an ego-driven dismemberment like Kathleen Kennedy and the story group team. That's it. I've forgotten those accursed words. I'm sorry, more accursed names.
Also, we're going to go ahead and end the stream shortly after this right here, but there's a couple other things I wanted to go over right here. He says the Beskar steel is a dumb concept, and Beskar armor equals Ira Stark plot armor, which I would agree with that if I've seen Game of Thrones, which I haven't. But I do know who Ira Stark is. Nobody judge me now, okay?
No, you're okay. The last season ruined it all, so you better not watch it at all. Yeah, you're good.
I heard that, and I was like, even if I did want to get into it, I was very afraid to because I didn't want to be disappointed. Which, unfortunately, is almost how everything ends in today's entertainment, which is so weird. Let's see. He also said that Disney has a villain problem, which I agree completely with. Like, they don't have like the greatest villains known to man on here. They have to rehash villains basically and try to recapture what has already been made with those villains. And that's also, which I will say they did really good with Darth Vader in Rogue One. In a way, I feel like it was more of an improvement. But as far as that, he was already an established villain. Though it's no original villains that I've seen have turned out as good as that. So I completely agree with that.
Actually, I think the one concern I have with the book of Boba Fett is that they might turn him into this sympathetic villain like they have done to other properties like Maleficent or Cruella. And I really don't think they should do that. I hope I'm wrong, but I really don't want to see him turn into a full-on good guy. I really don't.
Well, see, the thing is that I believe. I mean, if you're sitting back and looking at it kind of rationally, you would probably have to say that they would definitely have to make him an anti-hero.
Yeah.
That's so true. I don't think it would make absolutely no sense to make him sympathetic villain or a reformed hero type situation.
I don't believe that's the direction.
I don't
anyway.
think. Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that. I think I think they're smart enough to know on the one hand, they can't make this like the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to have to keep Boba Fett's character is going to have more of an anti-hero mold.
Bent. Yeah.
But also at the same time, I think also the other thing I don't like, and like you mentioned Cruella, like it's like I don't understand like movies or stories that try to make outright like awful villains try to make them. It's like there's no redeeming that character. It's like there are some villains where it's just like they're just villains.
You're not going to redeem them.
Yeah, I'm not articulating this well, but it's like you find certain quote villains that kind of do some of what they do out of necessity, or there's some story behind it. And there are others that I kind of just call like just spite villains. They're just you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
And those ones, it's like no, it's like there's some like okay I could understand, but others are like no. And I don't think we're gonna get that with Boba Fett either. Because I think his story, there are some sympathetic elements to his story where he's basically lost his dad and been kind of on his own.
Yeah,
he's kind of this messed up kid in the Clone Wars. So yeah, I think they'll strike the right balance.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, the thing is that he's gotten on in years. So I don't think we're going to have the ruthless bounty hunter Boba Fett. But we're going to have the bounty hunter Boba Fett. He's going to do things for himself if it just happens to help people along the way. If let's just say the bounty was to get some info off X person, I wouldn't be surprised if previous Boba Fett would have just executed him, picked up the info, and go. Where I think maybe Book of Boba Fett would be just get the info and leave the person alone. So we're not going. I honestly don't see heroic version of Boba Fett, but at the exact same time, I don't think we're going to get random execution or vaporization Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett, because it just wouldn't. Neither of those options would make any sense.
I agree.
And if they did either of those options, no one's probably going to watch it. Well, everyone that wants to review the show will watch it, but no one else will.
Let's see.
Oh dear! What is Chrono doing? Are you Chrono? Are you hacking into Lucasfilm? Are you hacking into Lucasfilm right now to get the info?
No.
He would never do that. He would never do that. One other thing before we end the stream, because he did bring up this villain, and I just wanted to say that I almost forgot about him until he mentioned him. When I mentioned Rogue One, I almost forgot about Krennic. I actually did like Krennic. I really did.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Which Rogue
and
One.
And then they blew him up.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in the original trilogy, though, so I guess they had to do it. But honestly, I feel neither was Sloane, but they keep reusing her in like outside media and stuff like that as well. And not to mention, I think they use her in Star Wars Squadrons, the the game, which I actually did play the first mission or two of it to sort of try it out. I'm terrible at flying, but it is fun. I do like it, and
It's
I
a
might
great,
even, huh?
that is a great game. Yes, you're
Yes.
going to take a long time getting used to the controller, but once you do, it's awesome.
Hang on, hang on. Were you playing that game and you didn't tell me?
No, I've only played the first mission
Oh, okay.
or first two missions or something, but I stopped it because I was thinking I'll start over. I'll do a playthrough of it. I'll probably have you on there because I knew you were you're the one that got me to download it. Which, believe it or not, I've had the game for a while, but it was on my Xbox and I've not downloaded it at all. I've got it on disc, but it was free, so I figured I might as well download it digitally. So, but yeah, I liked Krennic, and I really wish they would have left him alive and used him like they do Sloane. If you don't know who Sloane is, she is from I think it's New Dawn, the book. I don't know if that's her first appearance, but that is the first time I remember seeing her name brought up. She was one of the main, well, not exactly, yeah, sort of main villains in that book. If you haven't read it, by the way, that's a good book. I really did enjoy it. It's about Kanan and Hera, or Caleb, I guess. I can't remember if he went by Caleb or Kanan through the whole book. I think he went by Kanan, but they did mention his original name, which is how I figured that out. That's what it was. So it's about Kanan and Hera. It's a good book. I would totally recommend you reading that. It's a good book. Anyways, they use her in outside media. I just wish they would have done the same with Krennic instead of having him like in a one-off movie. Which they could use him anytime in between episodes 3 and 4, though. So if they do something else, they might bring him back for something like that. But I don't see that happening, unfortunately. But if that's all, which I'm guessing that's all I've got now, I went 37 minutes over what I meant to do, but that's okay. I actually enjoyed talking about this stuff. So that's why we're called Star Wars Topics. We talk about various topics in Star Wars, and we went through a few. So we're going to go ahead and for sure this time end the stream. So I already went through the outro stuff, but for anybody that hasn't heard it, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if we earned it. Discord and Twitter down in the description below. You can join or follow either one or both. You know, it'd be nice. Yeah, and say my quote. Say it. Well, wait a minute. What was your quote? What was your quote? Oh, wait. Oh, you're wanting me to say this, aren't you? You want me to say that, aren't you? I believe that's what it is. Okay. Let me channel my inner Krennic here. I don't think I can do a Krennic impression, but I will do my best here. I'm going to mute myself and practice it for just a second. Say something.
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 I would actually try it if I could remember how Krennic sounded, but I can't.
I don't really remember his voice.
Now it makes me want to go and watch
Rogue
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Thank you. Just so I could hear it. I might do that in the next stream.
Are we blind? Deploy the garrison.
That was actually pretty good.
That was good. Yeah.
I had to say it a few times to channel my inner Krennic there. So, yes, I love that quote. It's funny. Hey, look, I got a few other impressions up my sleeve too, but that might be for another time when it's appropriate because usually one of them, Chrono, is the one that sort of cues it in. And we haven't done that this stream. So whenever I usually go off of opportunity rather than just doing it to be doing it. So if that makes sense.
Actually, I was wondering, what do you mean by ending the stream? We're so close to 4 hours.
No, 4 hours. No.
4 hours will be fine.
No, it won't. What, you think it's Untitled Jedi waving your hand around like that?
I love that
You did
impression.
it, though. I'm glad you did it. I love that impression too. It's so fun to do it. I just love it. All right. We're gonna leave for sure this time, though. I said that last time. We're doing it for sure this time. For sure this time.
No,
So
we're
I've
not.
already-
We're going on
Yeah,
for another hour.
No. We're done. We're done. Okay. We're done with the stream. I'm using my hand as a I'm using the force. I'm using the mind trick on you. We're done. The stream is over. You will not ask me to go any longer.
The stream will continue. We will go on.
Dear Lord, I think I did a reverse mind trick. All right, but we are going. So let me find the outro here real quick. That is not the outro.
I didn't know.
Yes, it is an outro. It is an outro. For all those kids, it was an outro.
I mean, it could be an outro. I might use that joke again at some point. I'm not going to explain the joke. That would make it less funny.
That.
Anyways, I know that's why it's not. It isn't funny if I explain the joke. So I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't explain anything. I just need to shut up now. All right, we're going. May the force be with you always.
Bravo,